Hi, so the book that I'm going to review today is called Paying for the Party, How College Maintains Inequality, right? Now this book, it's white, so it's giving me a lot of trouble with seeing the cover. This book right here was suggested to me by an instructor at the school where I graduated from, at the university. She had all of us read this book, and we read the whole entire thing in little bits and pieces, but I mean by like in a few weeks you were reading it was so interesting that you wind up reading ahead of what was even requested, right? And it was outside of our curriculum. It was something extra that she thought would make us into better instructors and just thinkers, knowers, creators, and all those sort of things. It says Paying for the Party, How College Maintains Inequality. So in that class, in that environment, we always talked about what is the great equalizer, right? So this is very important to know if you're trying to accomplish something, or you're trying to be successful, or you're trying to break outside of, say, maybe generational financial issues, or being in mediocrity, or just being in average environments, and you want something more. You want to be the best. You want to be better. So you go through all of the channels that you think are going to take you to the next level, right? And so what it focused on is that college being one of them, right? With a lot of these breakout motivational speakers and what is it called? Personal development and personal growth gurus, just another way to put it. And I have some too. I love, coaches, life coaches. They're wonderful. But a lot of them, if you notice, for the vast majority of them, they're not college educated, right? So a lot of times, and even the people that are running these multi-million-dollar new businesses that popped up like in the last decade, they're not college educated either. So it kind of makes you wonder, okay, how much does education, higher learning, actually play a role in whether we succeed and whether we get to our next level, right? Myself, I have like 4 college degrees, associates, a bachelor's, 2 master's degrees. And all of them were strategic. At different times, I needed them to do different things. I can't say that I was absolutely interested in having to have another degree, except for not being able to teach a course because I don't have a graduate degree. So needing to attain additional certification or additional education in order to be able to teach, right? So in this text, we get to see like it's a really interesting ethnography. Like it's a long-term study of 2 people, 2 girls that are from 2 different types of backgrounds, and they both go to college in the same environment, and it shows how vastly different the experience is from a person that comes from no privilege, poor background, from somewhere in the Midwest, to the one girl, and the other girl from upper class family, had a big name in the industry. She told one of the girls in the book that her grandfather was richer than God, right? So it showed the vastly difference, because we feel like if we attend college, a lot of people do, if we go get this education, and if we pick an area that we want to study in, we go fill out our resumes, all of a sudden our resume is so much better because it has a college degree on it. But what this book shows us is that that's not always the case. And a lot of people are like, okay, I already know that college degrees are not everything, right? But it's so many fine details that are looked over in the process. What the girl who in the upper class environment had over the other one was that she was socially connected. It was very important for her to make social connections. What the girl from the lower class environment did, she just put her head down and studied hard to make straight A's. Long story short, one of them leaves college with like an A average, graduating honors, and all these good things, and she's from the lower class environment. And then the other one leaves with like a C average, graduating with her degree and still landing a job in a top level law firm. And the reason why is because she was socially connected. She had social capital, 2 reasons, and cultural capital. And a lot of people in lower class environments do not understand the value of social and cultural capital. Cultural meaning that the girl from the upper class environment had been exposed to several different types of activities and worldly topics that she could hold a conversation at a dinner party, or she could hold a conversation at a meeting. She can go to a board meeting. She can impress people with basic conversation, right? And the other thing was social capital. Her family and people that were connected to her family had all made sure that they stayed connected to people who were on the same level or either higher. The girl from the lower class environment tended to make friends and communicate and socially connect with everybody. She didn't have a boundary on the strategic effort in creating social capital. And one might say, oh, that's so awful, right? You don't make friends and you don't meet people based on your needs or what you think is going to help you in the long run. But the problem comes in with that is it's sort of like either it's working or it's not. Even though we would love to keep these people around and to hang around people that do not possess the qualities and have not accomplished the goals and are not where we want to be in life, they will bring you down. And this book is such, I mean, I think they followed them over their whole entire college experience. It's like a 4-year project. And I love sociological studies like that. It's such, and people looked at it as more of a research book. I looked at it as a personal development book. It helped me understand things about our culture that are always missing when it comes to American culture. It's like work hard, study hard, work hard, do well, get a good job, and then you'll be, and that's just not the case. And we see that it's not the case over and over again, yet we keep recycling that conversation over and over again. And guess what? The people that work hard are not the people that are rewarded in our environments. The people that work smart are. The people that are socially connected are. And the people that have cultural capital are. So it's one of those hard pills to swallow. And this is an excellent example of it. So if you're like, I want an example of how this works and how it doesn't, you can clearly see that in like the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He talked about his hard-working father and everything that he did in his work life in academia, trying to get tenure, all these things, and he still died broke, right? So some of the things that you hear more commonly, some of the ideas that people carry with them are not what actually works. And this book is a great example of that. A lot of people in the classroom, they thought it was provocative. And a lot of people thought it was interesting because the title talks about how college maintains inequality, paying for the party. It's because the girl with the upper class environment, she was in a sorority. And through that sorority, she was connected to other people in other upper class environments that are like from all over the United States, people from all over the world, right? But what we don't talk about, the dirty little secret when it comes to education, is that you will not get the same experience as a person from an upper class environment when you do not have money to participate. And that is a big deal. It is such a big deal that when you leave the environment, you are left with lacking everything that you'll need to actually push yourself to the next level. And the only way to get around that is to actually know someone. You do not get around this by working hard and doing well. There are too many people that are like you doing the exact same thing. And the girl from the lower class environment, she had a boyfriend that was at home. As she kept in contact with the girl from the upper class environment, had been trained. You don't find boyfriends in college. She was just like, you mate and mate and mate. And then whichever one is the most promising by the time you're about to graduate, those are the ones you choose from. The lower class girl environment, from the environment that she came from, it was just like, no, you marry somebody for love and the memories and so it's whatever you pick, but know that when you make certain choices that you will not get the results that you think you're going to get with education. It can be the great equalizer, but it is not always the great equalizer because the degree alone is not enough. So anyway, I love this book. Paying for the Party. It made me look at education and my own experience in education in a whole new light. I had to struggle for so many tiny pieces of accomplishments in my time. I mean, and I was always so smart, had so much to offer and all these things. And I struggled here, there, and there. But when it's time for me to get into a great university, it's because somebody liked me. It's because they read my blog. Who knew? It wasn't because I made the cut, but I made the cut though. Do you see how that works? And so this book is a great book for Paying for the Party. It's by Elizabeth Armstrong and Laura Hamilton. Those are the sociological researchers. So I would suggest looking at this because a lot of times we get into self-help books or personal development and they're all like one tone, you know, do what you got to do, believe in yourself and all that. But this is actual empirical evidence showing what the motivational books are actually talking about. So anyway, Paying for the Party, How College Maintains Inequality, Elizabeth Armstrong and Laura Hamilton.